Hey y'all, this is Mad Town Maverick, and today we are talking about Battlefield 6 Season 2. If you're not already, make sure you go down and hit that subscribe button and check out all my other socials. That'll be in the description below. I stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. So unfortunately, this is a hard video for me to make. I really wanted Battlefield Studios to nail Battlefield 6's live service, but it seems like we're going in the opposite direction. They're continuing to fall into old traps that other games have gone through, and they really have just never done a good job doing live service, and Season 2 is no exception. We are seeing the continue of a drip feed. So on screen, you can see right here the roadmap for Season 2. We get one new map, 3 limited time modes and updates. And you might say, Madtown, look at all these weapons and gadgets we have right here. There's 5 of them. The problem is, all of these weapons and gadgets are behind the Battle Pass grind. I have no idea why they made that decision. These need to be lock behind challenges next season. It's insane to drop an update like this and then expect people to have to grind day one just to play with new content. Does not make sense. And it really makes me question, what did they do during this month break? Limited time modes, gas being added to Gauntlet and the BR. It's just not meaningful content that players care about. And at the end of the day, getting 2 maps in 3 months is completely unacceptable. There needs to be more core content added in these seasons. Since Battlefield has moved to a live service delivery, they've constantly struggled to put out meaningful content. They spend way too much time trying to address core mechanics that don't need to be changed and squashing bugs rather than making and delivering core content. Maps and weapons. That's what we need. Limited time modes and gimmicky changes like the gas are not enough to get people back into your game and playing for a long amount of time. The new map is great. I think it's beautiful. It's large. It's exactly what Battlefield players have been asking for a combined arms map. But one map isn't going to carry an entire month. People are going to get bored. They're going to go looking for other games. And it's just not enough. And on top of this, I just feel like there's a massive push for these battle passes. The battle pass has so much fluff. Meaningless content. The stickers, the titles, the weapon blueprints that essentially just change how the weapon looks and gives you a few attachments that you might not have to grind for. It's just not enough. I feel like a broken record. It is not enough content. And on top of that, in my opinion, the cosmetics lack a ton of variety. There's no variety. Goggles and masks were 99% of the cosmetics for Season 1. And in Season 2, it's great we're getting some different stuff. We're getting gas masks now. But you look at all these cosmetics, and I want them to be grounded. But you need more variety. I haven't changed my cosmetics since the first few weeks of Season 1. The only ones that I've changed are the Frogman and then the Ranger pack that I bought. Those are the only changes I've made to my soldiers cosmetically, and the only ones that interested me. It's mind-blowing. They're trying to drip feed us again with these battle passes. One map in 1 month. With a month delay. It's I'm really trying to be positive, but it's really hard. Battlefield 2 is just making it really hard to be positive. Alright, so let's talk about the gameplay changes Battlefield has made. And this is a super divisive topic, but I think at either end of the spectrum, if you're a more casual player, if you're a more competitive player, these changes ultimately hurt you, especially when we talk about the shooting changes they've made in a little bit. So movement-wise, just the WASD, no sprinting, it is slower. You can feel it. You feel like you're stuck in cement a little bit. That initial movement and the strafing are noticeably slower. It just makes the game feel clunky. And I just don't see how it helps even a casual player at this point be competitive. And then we get to the sliding. And personally, I loved the sliding and jumping and the movement in Season 1. It's really what kept me coming back to the game and playing over and over, especially in Gauntlet mode, which is a more competitive environment. But now, sliding is basically getting stuck in the mud. You do not travel nearly as far. It really just slows you down, and I really struggle to see a reason to continue using the sliding mechanic in its current structure. Jumping seems to be okay still. You can still do a nice little side jump around a corner to catch people off guard. But it's really disappointing to see DICE, or Battlefield Studios, nerf a movement mechanic that raised the skill ceiling. And on top of that, what makes this even worse is that they changed the gun mechanics and essentially lowered the recoil across the board. So now you're slower, your guns have less recoil, they're easier to control and shoot. I just don't see how that helps casual players, especially when they have not addressed the 3-bullet to kill guns. They have made no changes to netcode and hit registration. The game just feels worse, and I don't see how you're a casual player and enjoy this current state. You are just getting beamed, and it's really hard to react, especially with the hit reg and netcode. I would love to see in the comments why you think the movement nerfs in the current state of the game and shooting are good for you. Personally, I think it makes the game less enjoyable, and I think a lot of people in my circle are saying it's been really disappointing to see them go in this direction. So I do want to talk about the positives of this season. You know, the new map is a lot of fun. It's beautiful. Like I said, it's big. It has combined arms. It's got the new helicopter, the little bird. It's a ton of fun to play on. The only negatives to it really are that it is a sniper's paradise. There's a lot of bushes and trees to hide on. You can blend in a lot into this map with all the rocks and cliffs, but that's really just a visibility issue that Battlefield Studios needs to address everywhere. I'm not sure how much I enjoy the game in Conquest mode, but I think Breakthrough and Escalation again really shine on this map, and this map has a lot of great sectors, especially in Breakthrough. And I do want to hit on RedSec and Gauntlet. What have the BR players gotten since the game launched? A couple, a railgun and a MG in those little crates they dropped. And now they're adding gas, which, in my opinion, is not a fun mechanic. The gas mask is limited. It runs out, so you can't stay in the gas as long as you want. It's really hard to see in, even with the gas mask on. And I just don't think it's fun. It's not fun to not be able to see and shoot your weapons in a Battlefield game. You know, I get it might be a gimmicky little thing for a couple weeks to change up things. But ultimately, I don't see how casual players like it. I don't see how the competitive players like it. It's just not a fun mode. And that's the only thing that's new with Gauntlet and RedSec for this update. Insane. So in closing, I just really hate to see Battlefield Studios once again fail to provide enough content for a Battlefield title and live service model. And again, they're making unnecessary changes to core mechanics without addressing real issues that players have been talking about now for a while. Hit reg, netcode, 3 bullet to kill guns. But at the end of the day, if movement is slower, the strafing's slower, and guns are more laser beams, it's not going to help you. No matter what your skill is in the game or how you want to play Battlefield. And as much as premium sucked, that it divided a player base and you had to spend an extra, $30, you can't deny that premium delivered quality and content every single update. 4 maps was the standard. And in this new live service structure, Battlefield is just not delivering. I'm absolutely going to keep playing the game. I still ultimately like Battlefield 6. I just don't know how much longer you can keep this model and keep competitive and casual players happy. Let me know what you think in the comments. I really appreciate you watching the video, and I hope to catch you in the next one. This is Madtown Maverick, signing off.